In a world filled with noise, speed, and distraction, ancient wisdom can feel like a lifeline. 1 week ago, I felt overwhelmed. Emails, to-do lists, comparison, self-doubt. I was chasing clarity in a clouded world. That's when I turned to a 2,000-year-old philosophy, Stoicism. Not as a theory, not as a historical study, but as a real, practical exp. I picked 5 core Stoic habits, practiced them every single day for a full week, and the results were quietly profound. No, it didn't turn me into a robot. No, I didn't become unbreakable overnight. But what did happen was something far more real. I became more present, more resilient, more peaceful, and most importantly, more aware of what truly matters. In this video, I'll walk you through each habit in detail, how I applied them, the challenges, the breakthroughs, and the timeless lessons I took with me. Let's begin. 1. Negative visualization. The first habit was something the Stoics called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of adversity. In modern words, negative visualization. Each morning, before I picked up my phone, I sat still. I closed my eyes. And I imagined something going wrong. Not catastrophizing, but contemplating. What if I lost my job? What if someone I love fell sick? What if today were my last day? It felt dark at first, even uncomfortable. But after a few days, something changed. I began to see how much I take for granted. That text from a friend? I noticed it more. That hot coffee in the morning? I appreciated it deeper. That simple walk outside? It felt like a gift. Marcus Aurelius put it best. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. The practice of negative visualization didn't make me fearful. It made me grateful. It helped me stop sleepwalking through life. It anchored me in the moment and gave me a strange kind of strength. Knowing that loss is possible makes what you have precious. 2. The dichotomy of control. Day 2, I focused on the dichotomy of control, the foundation of Stoic thought. It's simple, but life-changing. Some things are in your control. Some things are not. Epictetus said this over 2,000 years ago, and it's still true. So I created a new morning ritual. Each day, I asked, what am I worrying about? Which part of that is mine to control? Which part isn't? And every evening, I reflected again. On day 3, I got stuck in traffic. My first instinct was frustration. But then I remembered. I can't control the traffic. I can control my reaction. So I took a deep breath, turned on an audiobook, and let go. That tiny shift created mental freedom. When I stopped trying to control the uncontrollable, I regained energy I didn't even know I was wasting. And here's the real magic. The more I let go of what wasn't mine to manage, the more powerfully I showed up in the areas that were mine. Decisions, focus, habits, values. The dichotomy of control isn't about giving up. It's about strategic surrender, so you can win in the areas that matter. 3. Voluntary discomfort. This one was hard. The third habit is voluntary discomfort. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, advised his students to periodically embrace discomfort, to sleep on the floor, eat only bread, wear rough clothes, and ask, is this the condition I feared? I didn't go full caveman. But I did. Take cold showers. Skip indulgent snacks. Wear the same clothes for 3 days. Avoid social media and unnecessary entertainment. And let me tell you, I felt resistance at first. My body complained. My mind protested. But day by day, I noticed something subtle, but powerful. I was less addicted to comfort. I became more mentally tough. I stopped flinching at small discomforts. Life is full of unexpected hardship. Practicing it voluntarily builds resilience. When you embrace discomfort on your terms, you're no longer its victim. And ironically, it makes comfort sweeter. That warm tea after a cold walk? That soft bed after a hard day? It all becomes a celebration, not a default. 4. daily reflection and journaling. The fourth habit changed how I understood myself. Every evening before bed, I opened a notebook and asked, "What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I improve tomorrow?" This is straight from the Stoics. Epictetus said, "Examine yourself, for this is the very best school of philosophy." What I discovered through reflection wasn't always pretty. I caught myself being impatient, distracted, inconsistent. But I also noticed moments of discipline, kindness, and calm. By the third night, I started recognizing patterns. I'm reactive when I don't sleep. I'm happiest when I create, not consume. I feel proud when I keep my word, even in small ways. The journal became my daily mirror, a place for course correction. Not self-punishment, but self-awareness. And with that awareness came power. When you reflect daily, your life becomes less reactive and more intentional. 5. Memento Mori. The final habit was the most sobering and the most life-giving. Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. Every morning, I whispered those words. Not to scare myself, but to wake myself up. When you remember that death is guaranteed, life becomes precious. That argument? Not worth it. That dream? Worth chasing. That call to a parent, friend, or sibling? Worth making. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that life is fleeting. He wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years." And strangely, contemplating death made me feel more alive. I laughed harder. I listened more. I slowed down. I realized that life isn't about control. It's about alignment, with values, with purpose, with presence. 6. Practicing amor fati, love your fate. Amor fati. It means love of fate. Not just accepting what happens to you, but loving it. That meeting got cancelled? That person misunderstood you? That job offer didn't come through? Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" Amor fati invites us to say, "This is happening for me." It sounds strange, maybe even delusional at first. But when I tried this for a few days, I noticed. I argued less with reality. I felt calmer, even when things didn't go as planned. I started finding meaning in challenges. Friedrich Nietzsche said it best. My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. When you stop resisting the moment and start loving it, you become undefeatable. Life doesn't need to be perfect to be powerful. 7. Living according to nature. One of the most misunderstood Stoic ideas is, live according to nature. It doesn't mean live in the forest or abandon your smartphone. It means, live in alignment with your human nature. Your nature is to think clearly, act with integrity, help others, stay calm under pressure, create, contribute, grow. When I started asking myself daily, is this aligned with my nature? My decisions became simpler. Scrolling endlessly? That's not aligned. Helping someone without expecting anything back? That is. Sleeping when I'm tired instead of forcing productivity? That is. Living according to nature means living truthfully, not just efficiently. It means doing the right thing, not just the easy one. It's about flowing with your deeper self, not just reacting to the world. 8. Speak less, act more. Don't talk about it. Be about it. The Stoics warned against excessive talk. Seneca said, "The more you talk about what you're going to do, the less likely you are to do it." So I tried a new approach. For 3 days, I limited how much I explained myself. I stopped announcing goals. I stopped trying to sound wise. I just did the thing. I worked without broadcasting. I helped someone without saying, "Look at me." I focused on execution over explanation. The result? I felt more focused and less drained. Because the truth is, action is louder than affirmation. Discipline is stronger than declarations. Speak when needed, but let your life be the loudest message. 9. Build an inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius often spoke of something powerful. The inner citadel. It's the mental fortress we build inside ourselves, so that no storm, no betrayal, no loss can break us. Your outer world can fall apart, but your inner world? That's where real strength lives. I started visualizing this every day. When someone was rude, I reminded myself their actions stay outside my walls. When I failed, I said, the fall is real, but my identity is not damaged. The inner citadel isn't about closing yourself off. It's about building a calm, quiet space inside that no one else controls. A place for reason, for reflection, for freedom. In a world that tries to invade your mind daily, your inner citadel is your shield. 10. Remember your roles. The last habit I've been practicing is simple, yet transformative. Remember your roles. We wear many hats. Friend, parent, student, leader, artist. The Stoics believed we are always actors on life's stage. Epictetus said, "Remember that you are an actor in a play, which the playwright chooses. If he wants it short, make it short. If long, then long. If he wants you to play a beggar, play it well." In other words, play your role with honor, whatever it is. Even if no one's watching. Even if it's hard. Even if you're tired. Whether you're mopping a floor or leading a company. Show up fully. This habit taught me dignity, and that the small roles in life are often the most noble. 11. Master your breath. Before the mind races, before emotions flood in, there is the breath. Breath is the bridge between reaction and response. The Stoics didn't talk about breath as often as modern mindfulness teachers, but they understood its power. When Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Take refuge in yourself," I believe part of that refuge was breath. When I started the habit of conscious breathing, everything slowed down. Try this. When you're anxious, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. When someone angers you, don't react. Breathe first. Before a big decision, one slow inhale, and clarity often follows. The breath doesn't fix the problem, but it creates space. And that space is where wisdom lives. 12. Remember Memento Mori. This habit is intense, but beautiful. It's the heart of Stoic urgency. Memento Mori. It means, remember, you must die. Not to be morbid, but to sharpen your focus. Every time I reminded myself of this, I stopped wasting time. That argument didn't feel worth it. That scrolling habit felt like a theft. That phone call to someone I love suddenly felt urgent. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." When you remember death, you start living. Not recklessly, but gratefully. When you realize that each day is a gift, you stop acting like you'll live forever. And that changes everything. 13. Observe your ego. The ego is a trickster. It's that voice that says, "You're too important to be wrong. You deserve more than others. They didn't respect you enough." The Stoics taught that ego is the enemy. Epictetus reminded us, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." So I started the habit of ego checking. Every day, I asked, was I too reactive today? Did I need to prove something? Did I value being right over doing right? This practice humbled me. It softened my judgments. Because once ego falls away, growth can begin. 14. Embrace stillness. The world is loud, but wisdom is quiet. One of the most powerful habits I practiced was this: intentional stillness. No phone, no music, no input, just me and the moment. At first, it felt empty, but over time, stillness became a sanctuary. In silence, the mind settles. In stillness, the soul speaks. Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Start with 2 minutes a day. Just sit. Observe. No fixing. No scrolling. Just being. You'll be amazed at what rises from the quiet. 15. Practice sympathia. The final habit I want to share is this. Sympathia. It means recognizing our interconnectedness. The Stoics believed we are not isolated atoms, but part of a greater whole. Marcus Aurelius said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings no benefit to the bee." When I adopted this habit, I started asking, how can I make this moment better for others? How can I see others not as enemies, but extensions of myself? It made me less selfish, more patient, more forgiving. Sympathia doesn't mean becoming passive. It means becoming compassionate without attachment. It means living with a sense of duty to humanity. And when you do that, your life starts to feel bigger than you. That's when things start to click. 16. Detach from outcomes. The Stoics said, you have control over your actions, not the outcomes. But most of us live backward. We obsess over results, over how many likes we get, how people respond to our efforts, whether we win or lose. This habit changed me. Detach from the outcome. Focus on the process. I used to feel frustrated when things didn't go my way. But when I internalized this Stoic truth, my energy shifted. I focused on effort, not applause. I gave my best and let go. I stopped chasing external validation and found internal peace. Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. When you detach, you become free. Not lazy, not passive, but liberated from the prison of expectation. 17. Clean your inner house daily. You clean your room. You wash your dishes. But when was the last time you cleaned your mind? The Stoics believed we should reflect daily. Marcus Aurelius journaled about his flaws and corrections every day. So I started this habit. Every night, I asked, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I do better tomorrow? I wasn't punishing myself. I was polishing myself. Just like you remove dust from a mirror. You remove ego, anger, and laziness from your character. Over time, I became less reactive, more intentional. Your outer. 18. Tighten your circle. The people around you shape you, even when you don't notice. The Stoics were careful about company. Seneca warned, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. So I tightened my circle. Not by cutting people off with cruelty, but by choosing presence wisely. I asked, do I leave this person feeling clearer or more confused? Do they push me toward virtue or vanity? And I tried to be that kind of person too. You don't need 1,000 friends. You need a few people who want to grow with you. Choose wisely, because your future is often shaped by your fellow travelers. 19. Act as if it matters. The Stoics believed every action mattered. Not just big decisions, but how you answer an email, how you show up when you're tired, how you speak when no one's watching. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, don't waste what's left of your life in doubt and inaction. Do what needs to be done. Do it as if it were the last thing you ever did. So I adopted this mindset. I treated every moment as sacred. That doesn't mean being dramatic. It means being deliberate. Speak with intention. Work with purpose. Show kindness with no audience. These small choices, stacked together, they build a powerful life. One that doesn't need applause. Just meaning. 20. Let go of what you can't control. If I could only choose one Stoic habit to live by, it would be this. Let go of what you cannot control. Epictetus built his entire teaching on this core idea. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. We can control our actions, our values, our effort. We can't control what others think, What already happened? The weather, the traffic, the economy. When I stopped wasting energy on the uncontrollable, I felt lighter. I stopped needing everyone to agree with me. I stopped trying to rewrite the past. I stopped resisting the moment. That's not giving up, it's waking up. And when you live from that clarity, you walk through the world with peace and power. 21. Start the day with intention. Most people wake up and fall straight into reaction mode. Notifications, stress, noise. But the Stoics began their mornings with intention. Marcus Aurelius started his day reminding himself, "You will meet people today who are rude, selfish, arrogant, but none of it can touch you if you don't let it." I tried this. Each morning, before touching my phone, I wrote a simple prompt. What virtues will I carry today? What challenges might come, and how will I respond? It's not about predicting everything. It's about preparing your mindset. You're not just surviving the day. You're leading it. With clarity. With calm. With character. 22. Detach from outcomes. You can give your best effort, but you cannot control the outcome. The Stoics remind us to focus on what is within our power, our intention, our effort, our virtue, and let go of what is not. The result: other people's approval, luck. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens, then you will be happy. Epictetus. This mindset freed me. When I released the outcome, I performed better. Why? Because I wasn't acting out of fear, I was acting from principle. You do your best. You release the rest. That Stoic surrender, not weakness, but strength in letting go. 23. Welcome obstacles as opportunities. What if your biggest problem is your greatest teacher? The Stoics believed. Obstacles don't block the path, they are the path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This changed the way I saw setbacks. Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" I asked, "What is this here to teach me?" Whether it was rejection, loss, failure, I trained myself to look deeper, to ask, what virtue can I practice here? Patience? Forgiveness? Grit? Every obstacle became a doorway, not to comfort, but to character. 24. Schedule time to be offline. The Stoics didn't have social media, but they knew the danger of distraction. They urged us to protect our attention, to guard it like our most precious asset. And in today's world, your attention is under attack. So I started scheduling offline time. Just 1 hour a day, no screen, no scrolling. I went for walks. I stared out the window. I had actual, uninterrupted thoughts. At first it was uncomfortable, but slowly, I felt clarity return. Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary and in few words. Epictetus. You don't need to be a monk. Just take back your attention, because your peace depends on it. 25. Live as if you've been given a second chance. Imagine this. You die, but you're given one more day. Just 24 hours to live again. How would you live? Would you waste it scrolling? Would you hold that grudge? Would you delay the apology? The Stoics lived each day with that urgency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Because today isn't just another Tuesday. It's a gift. So live like someone who's been given life again. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. 26. Don't argue, understand. In arguments, most people want to win. The Stoics? They wanted to understand. Epictetus said, "It is impossible to begin to learn that which one thinks one already knows." So I stopped trying to dominate every conversation. I listened instead. I asked questions. I paused before reacting. I reminded myself, disagreement isn't an attack, it's a chance to grow. Winning an argument means nothing if you lose your peace. When you seek to understand, not just respond, you rise above the noise. And that's rare. And powerful. 27. Aim for excellence, not perfection. We're taught to chase perfection. But perfection is a myth. The Stoics aimed for excellence, which is effort, integrity, and virtue. Seneca wrote, "While we wait for life, life passes." I used to delay action until things were perfect. The timing, the plan, the mood. But I learned. Excellence is showing up on hard days. It's doing your best, even when you're tired. It's choosing progress over perfection. That shift made me create more, worry less, and grow faster. Don't wait to be flawless. Be present. Be committed. And excellence will follow. 28. Speak less, mean more. We live in a world of noise. But wisdom often speaks in silence. Epictetus advised, "Let silence be your general rule, or say only what is necessary and in few words." So I practiced restraint. I didn't need to share every opinion. I paused before I posted. I asked, does this add value, or just volume? The less I spoke, the more people listened. Your words become more powerful when they're rare and rooted in clarity. Don't chase being loud. Chase being clear. And you'll stand out in a world full of echo. 29. Treat your mind like a temple. Your mind is your most sacred space. And most people guard their homes better than they guard their minds. The Stoics knew. Garbage in equals garbage out. So I became intentional with what I consumed. Fewer endless headlines. More timeless books. Less gossip, more growth. Marcus Aurelius didn't scroll Twitter, he journaled to himself. He wrote, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your thoughts shape your world. So choose them carefully. Make your mind a place of discipline, peace, and curiosity. Not chaos." 30. Be kind, even when you don't feel like it. The Stoics weren't cold or robotic. They were deeply humane. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Kindness is invincible." And I've tested that. I tried being kind when I was stressed, annoyed, ignored. And every time, something shifted. Kindness didn't just help the other person. It helped me. It centered me. It brought me back to my better self. Kindness is not weakness. It's strength under control. And in a world that often forgets to care, it's your greatest superpower. 31. Pause before you react. Reacting is easy. Responding with wisdom? That takes practice. The Stoics believed in the power of the pause. Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." When someone criticized me, I paused. When life hit me with a surprise, I paused. That pause gave me freedom. The freedom to choose my response. No more knee-jerk replies. No more emotional spirals. Just a breath. A moment. A decision. That pause is where power lives. Practice it daily. 32. Turn criticism into a tool. Most people run from criticism. The Stoics used it as a mirror. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." Instead of defending myself, I started asking, is this feedback true? Even if it stings, can it shape me? I treated criticism like a gym. It made me stronger, if I lifted it correctly. Not all criticism is useful, but the humility to examine it is. Don't fear critique. Use it. Let it sharpen your character. 33. Revisit your principles often. Your values are like a compass. But even compasses need recalibration. The Stoics didn't just define virtue once, they reviewed it daily. Marcus Aurelius journaled to himself every morning and night. I started doing this too. Just 3 minutes. What do I believe in? Did I live that way today? Where did I drift? This habit anchored me. Because life will try to pull you off course. But if you check your compass, you'll always find your way back. 34. Remember death. One day, you won't be here. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. The Stoics practiced Memento Mori, remember you will die. Not to be dark, but to live brighter. When I started reflecting on mortality, everything shifted. Petty drama didn't matter. Delaying dreams made no sense. Gratitude multiplied. Life isn't guaranteed. But right now, you're breathing. So love deeply. Create boldly. Forgive quickly. And stop waiting for someday. Someday is here. This is it. 35. Read the same books again. We live in a world obsessed with new books, new advice, new hacks. But the Stoics? They returned to the same wisdom over and over. Marcus Aurelius read Epictetus constantly. Seneca reread Socratic texts. So I chose my core books. I highlighted them. I wrote in the margins. And each time I returned, I saw something different, because I had changed. Truth doesn't get old. Find the few books that anchor your soul. And don't just read them. Live them. In just 1 week, I decided to experiment. No magic. No gurus. No expensive courses. Just 35 small shifts. Rooted in ancient wisdom. And what I found was not just a better version of myself, but a quieter, stronger, more centered human being. The Stoics didn't promise happiness. They promised clarity. And from that clarity came peace in chaos, strength in stillness, freedom in self-control. These habits didn't just change my schedule. They rewired my soul. When I started, I was restless, distracted, uncertain. After 7 days, I was calmer under pressure, kinder in moments of frustration, more focused on what actually mattered. I stopped living for attention. I started living with intention. The noise got quieter. My decisions got clearer. My days got simpler. I didn't become perfect, but I became more aware. And that awareness? That's everything. Because once you wake up to how much power you truly have over your choices, your reactions, your attitude, you stop waiting for life to change, and you start changing your life. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally disciplined. It's not about being detached. It's about being anchored. And it's not just philosophy. It's a way of living, a way of thinking, a way of seeing the world with eyes wide open. So here's the truth. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You just need to take these lessons and start living them. Right now. Right here. And if you do, your life will begin to change. Not all at once, but moment by moment, thought by thought, habit by habit. And one day, you'll look back and realize you didn't just read a book or watch a video. You rewrote your story, not by chasing greatness, but by practicing virtue. Quietly, consistently, unshakably. That is the Stoic way. And it just might be the way forward. If this video gave you something to think about, something to feel, or something to start, don't just like. Don't just subscribe. Live it. And remember, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius.